this will be my first posted video, and it's a little bit about me. It's going to be a testimony on what's happened in my life, what's going on, and has brought me to the person that I am today, and why I'm talking to you guys right now. I am never the guy who thought I'd be posting a YouTube video. I have never even tried. I'm the normal guy who spent hours on a YouTube, like a black hole of just video after video, like we all do. You know, you know how it runs. But something that you guys need to know about me is I am a Christian. I was raised Christian. I was born into a Christian family. Then I was raised a Christian in a non-denominational, like, spirit-filled church, and I grew up that way. And if you don't know what that means, basically we believe in the gifts of the Spirit. We believe that miracles can still happen. We believe that everything in the Bible is truth. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. He died for me, and his blood covers me and my sins. So that's just sort of a rough overview of what I believe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I can go more in depth into what that entails. And so I am coming to you guys wanting to just share with you guys what my journey here was. So I am 27 years old. I live in Kansas City, Missouri right now, originally from North Carolina. And my journey began when I was young. I was about 15 years old, and I was on fire Christian man, just going for it. But the problem is I never read the Bible. I only portrayed what I thought people wanted to see, the actions of a evangelical or like a spirit-filled Christian, speaking in tongues, getting knocked out in the spirit. I believe some of it was real, but I don't believe that I was saved yet. I wasn't really like completely sold out for the Lord, you know? And around the time when I was like 18 years old, I was trying to find the next ministry thing that I wanted to do with my life. And at this time, when I was 16, I started smoking cigarettes. That sort of progressed until I was in 18, 19, until I was 26. So, but like, I was in a point where I got shut down. I got turned down from going on a missions like thing, and I immediately lost my respect in God for a minute. I decided, I was like, you know what, God, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to go out and be my own man. I love you. I know you're real, but I want to go and experience the fun things in life. So I started smoking lots of weed at 18. And I went hard. I smoked every day when I got off work, before I went to bed. Like, it was every single day. And don't get me wrong, I have my own beliefs on medical marijuana and how that can help people. But for me, it just was not a helpful thing. It made me numb to my emotions. It made me numb to all these things in my life. And I started drinking, I started partying, I did cocaine, I did psychedelics, like I did mushrooms, I did acid, Molly, not a psychedelic, but a party drug, like Molly, sassafras. All of these things I had dipped into because I was like, oh, it's going to expand my mind, it's going to be really cool, you know, maybe I'll see into the spirit realm or some stuff like that, you know? And it was a very hard point that I had to find out that it was not doing any of those things that I thought it was. It actually started to make me severely depressed, to the point where I thought I was going insane when I was hearing all of my friends, and it was all in my imagination, all in my head, but it was like I was hearing my friends come to me and be like, you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, nobody wants to be around you, you're gay, you're gay, you're not worth anything, you've never been with a girl, so how could you know anything, you're a little piece of shit, nobody will ever, like, all of these things just continuously hitting me one time after another. And I mean, I'm not to say all these things, like, realize that in my upbringing, being gay was just incredibly taboo, being incredibly crazy. So my mindset went there. I grew up after, like, the thing about that was, like, I knew a lot of gay couples, a lot of gay and lesbian couples, awesome people, love them to death. But in my mind, that was one of, like, the worst things that I could be. I am a straight man, but that's where my demons took me, you know? Because, like, that would be the worst thing ever. And then it was like, all of these things started to accumulate over months and eventually years. And then it was like, you know what, no, you should just take your life. You should just kill yourself. You're not worth anything. You know what, just go and do it. You know, nobody's going to miss you. Nobody's going to care about you. All of these things just kept on going. And to the point where I had finally slipped, and I said to somebody that, you know what, none of this is worth anything. I should probably just kill myself. And that person shared that with her family, who then shared that with my family. And then I had all of these people just crushing into this secret life that I had, this broken life that I had. And I couldn't handle it. I couldn't understand it. I didn't know what was going on, to the point where I was like, I was in my car, I was driving around, and I was just like, I can't do it. I stopped. I was parked into a parking lot, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to I can make it look like an accident. I'm a clever enough guy. I can make it look like an accident. I'll go up. I was living in North Carolina at the time, and I said, I'll go up into one of these mountains, one of these sharp turns on a mountain, and I'll just press the gas off the ledge. I'll just hit it. It'll look like I lost control. I'll yank the wheel so it'll look like I lost control, and I'll tumble off of the side of this mountain, and I'll die. And it may take weeks for people to find me, but my parents won't think that I killed myself. And this is so real for a lot of people. It's a real struggle, and I understand it. It's hard. I sat in that moment in this parked car, and I looked up to God, and I was like, God, if you're real, if you are who you say you are, you have to stop me from doing this, because I'm going to kill myself. And God, I mean, to explain that experience that happened afterwards is so hard. I can't put it into words. If you've ever felt the presence of God, you know what I'm talking about. But if you never have, you won't understand it. But I felt the entire car fill with this thick energy. I had experienced it before when I was younger, and that energy was, from my understanding, was the presence of the Lord. And I just started weeping and weeping and weeping, and the Lord, and I don't know if it was, I can't, like, I just was in this moment of, like, brokenness. And I came to the Lord, and he started speaking to me. And I don't know if it was the audible voice of God or if it was just a still small voice speaking within me. And it was telling me that, I've always been there for you. Every minute of every day, I've been walking side by side with you. You pushed me behind you, but I kept walking right there. In every step that you took, I was there. In every sin that you committed, I was there. In every moment of darkness where you were clinging and in so much pain, I was right there with you. And then you just didn't turn and look at me. But I was here when you decided to turn and say, God, I need help. And that's who our Father, that's who Jesus is. He's the person that, even though you push them away, even though you tell them you don't want to see them, even though, like, he's a friend that does this. It's not like in a weird way. It's in love. It's in kindness that he's like you're being a dick to this person. Like, you're the asshole. I was the asshole. And I told him I didn't want him pretty much didn't want him in my life anymore, and I pushed him away, and I said, I can do this on my own. I'm going to make a name for myself. I'm going to do whatever I can. And he's like, okay, I'm still going to be here for you. I'm still going to be right beside you. And I'm still walking with you in the midst of this. And I just felt a resolve in my heart that I knew that, like, and that's the moment that I would say I truly got saved, because it's the moment I never forget. For the rest of my life, I will never forget that moment. And I know that many people would say I got saved when I was a kid, when I got baptized, or all of this, but being raised in the church, a lot of that stuff is expected. A lot of that stuff you're doing because you feel that it's the right thing to do. But I believe that was the day of my salvation. That was the day that I actually encountered the Lord and prayed and like actually accepted him into my heart for forever. Don't get me wrong, I've still had some very sinful times in my life. I have fallen short of the glory of God, just like all of us do, And I'm not saying that to discourage anybody, but what I'm saying is depression and anxiety and these things, they're real, and attacks from the enemy are real, but God is right there for you. If you ever need him, he is right there. All you gotta do is reach out. All you gotta do is ask him for help. All you gotta do is say, hey, this is who I am. Do you love me? And his answer will always be yes. No matter what you've done, no matter who you are, his answer will always be yes. And so every time I've been depressed, every time I've had depression or anxiety, I go to him, and it's goes away, it goes down, and not out, and that's pretty much every time. Like, there's been times where I haven't gone to him with my depression, and it sucked. But anyway, like, I just wanted to make this video as my first posted video. This is my testimony. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please leave them below. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more content. It's not always going to be like this. Probably going to post videos about movies, anime, scripture, fun times with friends, like all of these things. So if you'd please just, if you want to see more, again, like, subscribe. I will talk to you guys later. You have a fantastic evening. Peace.